Hello teacher and hello everyone, my name is Hale and today I'm going to tell you about some characteristics of the direct method that make it so distinctive from the grammar translation method. And in my video, I'm going to include some examples and some illustrations. So let's start. First, I'm going to give you the definition of both methods. And we can start with the direct method because I think it is the main characters of this question, right? Direct method, as the name suggests, is the method that teacher and students use the target language directly without the presence of the mother tongue. And during the process of teaching, teachers will try to convey his or her ideas through demonstration or visual aids with no resource to students' native language. As far as the grammar translation method is concerned, these methods were called the classical methods since it was used to teach some classical languages such as Latin or Greek. And the purpose of this method is to help students read and appreciate foreign language literature. And as you can see here, there is nothing related to listening or speaking, and any aspect of communication is ignored during this method. And therefore, when language learning is regarded as learn to communicate, the grammar translation method is no longer effective in preparing students to use the target language communicatively, and then the direct method is more popular. Now we come to our main part of the question. What are the characteristics of the direct method that make it distinctive from the grammar translation method? Well, I found out 5 main features that make the direct method more superior than the grammar translation method. Let's get into it. Number 1. Communication through the target language. In the direct method, students are taught to use the target language in learning process because the primary goal is to help communicate and understand the target language through real-life connections. Furthermore, the target language is also taught exclusively in the class because there is the rule that girls like no translation is allowed in this method. Characteristic number 2, vocabulary acquisition. Students learn words through context, conversation, or visual aids like pictures and real-life objects. And some words that students learn, they are naturally from sentences. So for example here, I show a pen, okay? Students say a pen. So use this is a pen, right? And then a watch. This is a watch. And a notebook. This is a notebook. Now we just go over characteristic number 1 and number 2, and here we are in characteristic number 3, grammar instruction. And here we can see the difference between the way grammar is taught in the direct method and the way it is taught in the grammar translation method. Okay, let's start with the direct method. In this method, grammar is taught inductively, meaning that students will go over some usage in conversation and some examples in real life, and then they will see the rules in the grammar points, and at the end they will apply the rules and the grammar points they have seen in the examples into some exercises. However, when it comes to the grammar translation method, grammar is taught deductively, meaning that students will be given some rules about the grammar points first, and then they will apply those rules in some translation exercises and some sentence exercises. So my example here is that in the direct method, and the way we learn grammar is something like this. I'm learning English today and I'm feeling a bit tired. I'm feeling alright. Everyone, let's learn something about present continuous now. However, when it comes to the grammar translation method, we are going to do something like this. Thì hiện tại tiếp diễn dùng để diễn tả một hành động đang xảy ra tại thời điểm người nói. For example, ví dụ, I am learning English. Tôi đang học tiếng Anh. I'm feeling a bit tired. Tôi đang cảm thấy hơi mệt. Rồi, bây giờ chúng ta hãy áp dụng những nguyên tắc chúng ta đã học vào làm bài tập nào. Number 4, focus on oral skills. So what does it mean, oral skills here? Well, something related to mouth means oral, right? So oral skills actually they are speaking and listening skills. And actually the direct method prioritizes listening and speaking skills. Students will have a chance to engage in conversations and practice pronunciation regularly. However, in the GTM, students rarely have a chance to practice those skills because they have to prioritize reading and writing because they are maybe much more important than the speaking and listening skills. So whenever you make mistakes about your pronunciation in the GTM, teacher will not he or she won't care, and as long as you translate the sentence correctly, no matter. Number 5, errors correction. Now we come to the last characteristic of the direct method, right? And in the direct method, errors are corrected in the context of conversation. So teachers will correct your mistakes immediately whenever you commit the mistakes, because teachers want to make sure that the next time you use language, you can use it precisely. So my example here is that students sometimes they say this is a Zello book, but actually the word Zello is incorrect, right? And then teacher will try to correct it immediately, like no Zello, yellow book. Okay, again. So and then students go like, teacher, this is a yellow book. In conclusion, there are 5 characteristics of the direct method that are so distinctive to the grammar translation method, right? However, it doesn't mean that the grammar translation method is useless nowadays. And in fact, we are still using or applying the grammar translation method in some situations like teaching reading or teaching grammar. So my suggestion here is that depending on the situations, on the kinds of classes that we teach, we can apply the method flexibly to our class in order to enhance the effectiveness of the teaching learning process. And that's all about my video, and thank you for your time. See ya.